to the extraordinary saga of the insurance CEO gunned down in the middle of a New York street. Today, the alleged killer has finally been caught in possession of a manifesto laying out his motive, a vendetta against America's healthcare industry.
A male was taken into custody today in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
He is believed to be our person of interest in the brazen targeted murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of United Healthcare, last Wednesday in Midtown Manhattan.
The cold-blooded execution sparked a days-long manhunt, a daring bike escape, a water bottle dropped at the scene, a Starbucks coffee cup, and a bag of Monopoly money, forming a trail of clues for police.
Officials have combed through thousands of hours of video, deploying drones, K9 units, and scuba divers in Central Park.
But in the end, it was an eagle-eyed staff member at a Pennsylvania McDonald's, some 400 kilometres away, who cracked the case, recognising 26-year-old suspect Luigi Mangione and calling it in.
This combination of old-school detective work and new-age technology is what led to this result today.
Named high school valedictorian...
Parents here today. First off, sending us to Gilman was far from a small financial investment.
Luigi Mangione is an Ivy League grad from a privileged background who once wrote of his admiration for the Unabomber's manifesto. When he was arrested, Mangione was carrying a so-called ghost gun, likely created with a 3D printer, as well as a silencer and bullets.
Also recovered was a fraudulent New Jersey ID.
Also in his possession, a handwritten manifesto mentioning United Healthcare by name and condemning insurance companies for placing profits over care.
He talks about how these parasites had it coming. I don't want to cause any trauma, but it had to be done.
He is someone who was railing against the industry in which this murder victim had worked.
A former roommate revealing the alleged killer had screws in his spine from a back injury.
Just a basic surf lesson, he was in bed for about a week, and I know it was really traumatic and difficult.
In an extraordinary twist, Americans in their droves have spoken out in support of Mangione's alleged actions, which commentators attribute to a broken healthcare system.
Some attention in this case, especially online, has been deeply disturbing.
Today, Luigi Mangione was charged with murder and various other felonies.
Well, Miles Klee is the culture writer for Rolling Stone. Miles, there are obviously multiple dimensions to this case. One is relatively straightforward. It's a crime case, but there's so many other layers to this. So what is it about it for you that makes this story so captivating?
Well, there's a tremendous amount of anger in the US about the healthcare industry, about the health insurance industry. It might be hard to understand from another country's perspective, but the for-profit system we have has caused an incredible amount of rage, and it's just been simmering below the surface. Even if you do get care, it can be a fight uphill all the way when you're sick, when you are grievously injured, just to feel like you are not going to get charged, $250,000 because you took the ambulance somewhere and you got a surgery that you needed to survive at a hospital that was out of network. I mean, these are all these things that you never want to be thinking about on the worst day of your life. It is really unfortunate that this one man is being made to, stand in for all the kind of inequities of this system. But I think on the internet, that's a place where people are, releasing a certain amount of pressure that they have felt under this system their whole lives.
It's so interesting to watch from the other side of the world, because here's a guy who was gunned down in public. He was a family man, whatever capitalist entity he oversaw, he was still a person who got killed in cold blood, and yet the people seem to be like enjoying his murder to the point where he's actually been likened to a folk hero, the assassin. Like, why is that?
That's true. I think there's a couple of reasons for that. One, it's not just the healthcare system, it's the inequality and class warfare in America and people feeling like, on the bottom that they've been taken advantage of. It's also about America's tradition of, outlaw romanticism from, frontier times to, colonists. There's just a real strong American tradition of trying to seize your own justice. So we see that, you know, people taking violent power sometimes are really held up as heroes in America, and that's just an unfortunate fact of the culture here.
There seems to be people that are kind of swept up in the narrative that he's too hot to convict, which I didn't know was a legal defence. I might need to go to the gym more after hearing this. But do people honestly believe that? Is that's true? What's going on there?
I don't think people actually want him to be acquitted because of his looks. I think people have political reasons for thinking that what he did was right and justified. And the memes are a little bit of a silly extension of that. And the more we hear from him, or the more we see some material that he'd created and possibly seeing him at trial, who knows what's going to come out.
Miles, really appreciate you talking to us tonight. Thank you.
My pleasure.